Today we'll be doing our happy hamstrings practice. You will need a ball, a couple of blocks will be helpful, and we're going to start just by working the right side of our body, and then we'll move to the left side of the body, so you'll get to really visually see how powerful this fascia work can be. We're going to start by rolling the sole of the right foot. So you can be sitting on a block or however you are comfortable. You might prefer to stand up. And just take a minute to bring that ball underneath your foot and go for a journey. Go for a little massage. Rolling around on the sole of your foot. Particularly this spot right underneath the balls of the foot in the center. Bubbling spring, this is a kidney pressure point. In terms of Chinese medicine, we're going to be working the kidney and bladder meridians. Helping to release fear, helping us to trust life, releasing anxiety, welcoming in trust, which I think we can all do a little bit of, right? The world is big and scary sometimes, and so giving our body this kind of support is a really beautiful therapeutic modality that we can implement. And I love that so much. So yeah, you're just massaging the foot, and I want you to not ignore any part of your foot. I'm actually going to come up to standing and just really let myself get in there a bit more. I'm putting some weight on the ball and off the ball. I'm working along the fibres of the foot. Going all around. No right or wrong way to do it here. You just want to make sure with everything that I offer that there's no pain. There's no sharp shooting pain, but you might get some nice dull achy sensations, and that is all good. We'll just take a few more breaths here to roll the foot. And then come off. You want to make sure that was the right foot. If it wasn't the right foot, then you're going to be working the left side. If it was your right foot, you're coming down to hands and knees. Bring some blocks underneath your hands and step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. The action here is pushing the right heel down and pulling the right heel back. So it feels like you're trying to drag the right heel back. As you do that, the medial hamstring is starting to light up. While you're pulling the heel, I want you to begin to slip your hips back in space. And then just relax to come forwards. You might have a blanket underneath your left knee to give it some padding. Slowly slip, slip, slip back in space. Relax to come forwards. Last few of these. And while we're working these parts of the body, notice what's coming up for you. Notice if there's any emotions, any feelings, any thoughts rising to the surface. None of it is random. Okay. Next time you come forwards, you'll just bring that right leg out to the right so it's in line with the left knee. Blocks can go in a flatter setting, or maybe they get out of the way. We'll begin to squeeze the knees together. You might like to bring that left knee a little wider. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze knees together. Squeeze legs together. And while you do that, we slip the hips back in space. And then relax to come forwards. Slip, slip, slip. Back in space. Relax to come forwards. Try to not collapse down through the ribs, but keep the low ribs drawing in. Keep your belly drawing in. Keep that breath smooth and steady. Wonderful. Let's come back to center. Bring the right knee next to the left knee. You can keep the blocks on flat setting or maybe get rid of them. And we'll lift up into a downward facing dog. And just notice the difference here between the left and the right side of the body. My right heel is actually all the way on the floor and my left heel is a little lifted. If you happen to be super bendy, you can walk that dog a little further out to notice the difference between the left and the right side. Maybe go for a little pedal here. Quite amazing, hey? And then we'll walk the feet forwards. Give yourself a few breaths to dangle here. Again, just noticing difference between left and right side. Maybe a little sway here from side to side. A little nod yes of the head and shake no. Let's let the elbows release, let the knees bend, rolling up, up, up. And roll the shoulders back and down. Let's do the second side now. So you'll grab your ball. The ball comes underneath your left foot. You can be sitting up or standing down, sitting down. And we'll do the second side. Did you notice a difference? I think it's pretty amazing with just a couple of minutes of intentional fascia work that you can really see the difference. Keep honing that in. I get excited about it. A little release through that foot. You want to try to mirror what you did on the first side. So we're balancing out. Maybe a little rocking off and rocking on. It should feel like a massage. I'm looking for any little knots, any trigger points. Our poor little feet get stuck in little foot prisons every day called shoes. And we're often walking on flat surfaces, so our feet don't get this natural fascia release that they would get if we were barefoot and out in the wild, climbing over rocks and rough surfaces. So that's why I suggest a little ball work every day. It goes a long way. Last couple of breaths. And then let's hop off, slide that ball out of the way. You're coming down to hands and knees. Working the medial hamstring, so blocks on high setting if you've got them. Left foot to the outside of your left hand. Maybe scooch that right knee back a touch. Feel like you're dragging your left heel to the back of the mat. While you do that, the hips will slowly slip back in space. And then we relax to come forward. So a little fascia flossing for the bladder, meridian. Balancing out that water element within us, releasing fear, releasing anxiety. So great. You can play with keeping toes on the floor or lifting toes up. You do what feels best in your body. And really be paying attention. Notice how your breath changes as we move this in this way. Notice where your attention naturally wants to travel to. Okay, now as you come forwards this time, you'll just bring your left leg in line with your right knee. Your hands can climb down to the floor, or maybe blocks on a flat setting. We're squeezing the legs together, particularly squeezing that left heel towards your right knee, and then slowly, slowly slip your hips back. And then just relax to come forwards. Squeeze the legs together as you move your hips back in space. And relax to come forwards. Nourishing those tissues. Let's take 2 more. Last one. Wonderful. Let's come up. Slide that left knee in. Send yourself back up to your down dog just to once again just check. Notice if there's a feeling of balance in the body. It's very, very obvious for me. I've now got my left heel meeting my right heel, whereas before they were kind of on separate planes. And take a minute here to pedal out the feet in your down dog. Swiveling sit bones high as your heart presses towards your thighs, triceps wrap in. Let's come down to a child's pose for a moment. Knees nice and wide, seat to heels, forehead to the earth. Maybe a turning of your head from side to side will feel nice as you give yourself this time to rest down on the earth, really just further anchoring in the energetics of the shape, helping us to feel more grounded, more trusting, more stabilized. Take 3 more slow, steady rounds of breath. Slowly lift yourself up to seated. Scooch your hips to the left so that your right leg can open out to the right. We're going to do 1 more ball release work, and I'm going to give you the option to introduce the ball underneath the right hamstring. So I'm really high up, like pretty much underneath my sit bones, right at the insertion of the hamstring to the hips. And just see how that feels, just to like rest down on the ball. You might have a little play with rocking to the right and then rocking to the left. And see how that feels. You'll know you're in a good spot because you'll get that lovely, sweet, dull, achy release. You might want to just bring your hand under there and look for a little bit of a different position with the ball. Again, rocking on, rocking off, maybe a little wiggle of the hips in space. You've got a moment here just to explore this part of your hamstring. Noticing anywhere that might be feeling a bit tight, a bit tense. You can soften this whole thing. If this is feeling really intense, you can put a blanket on top of your ball and that will help to chill it out. You might even have a blanket underneath your bum cheeks just to lift yourself up a little higher. And so just see how this is going. This might be plenty to stay sitting upright. If you'd like to take it a bit deeper, you've got the option to lean forwards into a half wide-legged forward fold. So for me to do that, I'm going to rest my elbows down on my blocks and rest my head in my hands, coming into a more yin quality shape. If you're not vibing with the ball, get rid of it. Ball is optional. You're welcome to just be here in this wide-legged forward fold. And the balls will add a nice extra element of myofascial release. And we'll be here for about a minute. So if you can allow yourself to relax into the shape even more, and getting nice and heavy and soft. Let yourself be supported by your props. Every few breaths you might like to play with and change the position of the ball, going for a little exploration through the back of the leg, finding a sweet spot for you. If you'd like to stay a bit longer, please feel free to. If you're ready to move on, we can slowly lift up. If you've still got the ball underneath you, you'll remove it. And we'll swap sides. Left leg out to left. Option to introduce the ball right at the tippy top of those hamstrings. And kind of like right up the top, right at that hip crease. Smile line of the glutes. And go for a little play. Go for a little journey. You can be rocking side to side. Rocking forwards and back. And when you find a good spot, you might just want to sit there and hold for a little while. Of course, you can pop that blanket over the ball to make it a little bit kinder. Maybe blanket underneath your bum cheeks to lift you up a little higher. All good options. Oh yeah, I found a good spot. I'm just going to sink into this for a little bit. And then you can continue working with the ball and forward folding, or you can take the ball out of the way and just forward fold without, or you can sit upright. This is your practice, your opportunity to nourish your hamstrings. Our poor little hamstrings get so tight from sitting in chairs and couches, and driving seats, and these very unnatural shapes for our bodies. Our bodies were designed to squat. And that's kind of our natural seat, but we've forgotten how to squat. We've forgotten how to sit on the floor as well. So this practice is helping our bodies to remember, helping to release the tension from way too many years of sitting in chairs. Also overstretching. Unfortunately, that's something that I did, is stretch and stretch and stretch my hamstrings, which actually just tore the muscle. Little micro tears over years and years of overstretching, which have caused my hamstrings to be tighter. And so that's why with the fascia work, we're working in a pretty gentle way. It's not anything wild. We're helping to reconfigure the fascial fibres and nourish them rather than stretch and stretch and stretch and tear them. Less is more, absolutely. We'll go for about another minute. You do what feels good. I've given you plenty of options to work with. This is where you want to stay. Feel free to stay as long as you like. Whenever you're ready, I'll get you to lift up. Take those props out of the way. And draw the left knee towards the chest. Bring the right knee towards the chest. Feet will go about as wide as the mat. And we'll take a moment to let the knees knock from one side of the mat to the other. Nice little gentle massage into the hips. Little release. Wonderful. You are all done. I hope that that felt amazing. If you go into down dog now, you'll see that you've got even more space. So I hope that that felt wonderful. Thank you for joining me.